Hey, my name is Jose Mejia, and this is my life design project, my purpose, and it's based upon lessons that changed my life and also build a discipline that takes me to places that motivation would never make me go through. So, from the beginning, when I started the life design project class, I was confused and I didn't know what to do, choose, or how to start the project or anything. So I knew that I have to push myself to grow. And by the time I start to work, I feel a little bit of discomfort because the freedom that they gave us was so much that I didn't understand how I could manage my time properly or even use the best of it as I wasn't used to that type of work. I have a lot of lack of confidence because every single time I wanted to make something to work, I had so many walls that I had to jump, and each of them was taller and taller and harder to achieve. That sometimes I simply try not to make it work. I also had the fear of failure because I knew that the first 2 months that I started to do the work, I was procrastinating nor even doing anything for me to help myself. But by the time I was researching about things that I could do or motivating myself, I find something called brand identity and vision. Thinking about real experiences that I had with my family as a person that immigrated to this country, I noticed that something that we were always in was working hard, mainly on painting, as my dad and I used to work over the summer on painting jobs. And I noticed that he started to make a business from anything. He didn't have nothing. He didn't have no workers, no advertisement. It was just a hard work and a business being in development. That's when my first idea came on, creating a brand that people will recognize from the start without anything. So that's when I kicked in saying Mejia painting will grow. So one of the first thing I did was online fingerprint. I didn't expect it too much work because I didn't realize how hard it was. So the first thing I started to do was creating a logo for the company. It wasn't easy. I'm not going to lie to you. There was times that I wanted to create something, but when I had it, it simply just fade away because I didn't have like the resources to make it work, nor the ideas. So brainstorming with my parents, I noticed that something that we wanted to add is something cultural. I'm from Honduras, so our national bird is called maca, and we noticed that it could be added to that same logo. So that's what we did. We created one that involved a maca that you can see in the picture right in front of you. And as the time passed by and I had already a logo, I was like, just mind myself and I going to start creating an Instagram page. At first, posting, it was simply easy, just getting photos from the work we have done over the summer and some other work out of the summer that was doing during the school year. And at first was easy, but then it took a lot of discipline because there was times that I didn't know how to manage my time to post something, but at the same time be in school, be interactive with sports. So there was a lot of things and I had to learn how to be consistent and adapt and keep learning. By the time I learned these skills, I was just happy because of things that I have done. But even that didn't stop me from expanding my horizons. The more I grow, the more I had to work because I knew that if I work hard, I was able to grow bigger. It wasn't just about posting. It was about learning real business skills. So I brainstormed and something I could add more to this program was to create a business card. Finding a simple way to design it, and make it work wasn't easy. But after many failed tries, I made it happen, and holding the first card meant everything to me because I knew how much time and effort I put in it. There was nights I couldn't sleep because I tried to make it work, but at the same time, I didn't know how to code nor even make it digitalized properly, and I had to put an effort. But even that didn't stop me because I was going beyond my goal. My original goal was to make a company name known for many people. And it actually worked because there was people that already knew it in school, out of school, and in other towns. And it was a big achievement. And people knew it not just because of that, but because of the known that a little kid of just 15 years old started to make a program from ashes and helping his dad was something that incentivized others to work out. And I end up motivating other people to do the same. And people recognize Mejia painting not just because of the hard work, but also of the things that had been done in the past. And I learned to do estimates and more presentations throughout my journey. And that didn't stop there because I decided to build a website. It was harder than I imagined because it required a lot of things. Just by watching this picture, I feel so proud because I knew how much time, effort, money, and coding skills it required. There was nights I couldn't sleep because I tried to make it work, and I tried 9 different sites before finding the right one. That was QRR, that provided me with a free domain, a free creation of a website, and simple coding because it wasn't really easy. It required a lot of things that had to be placed in the same place, and I couldn't find it till my 10th try. So out of the 9 tries I did before, none of them worked because it required a lot of things that I didn't have. But other than that, it required a lot of time and discipline because if I were not to put the time on it, I promise you that it wouldn't be here nor even work. It will be just a false promise to myself that I will have done it, even though I knew I wouldn't even done it if I were not to be disciplined and be persistent on it. That's when I say that when I reflect from the start of the business, this project wasn't just about building a business. It was about building discipline. Because out of all the things I learned that wasting my time had consequences, that every little single second that you waste is going to come back to you in the wrong way possible. And I learned that failure isn't the end. There was many times I lost. I lost and lost and lost and lost again, and I didn't know what else to do. But I also knew that being accountable and working hard was the best idea. And I didn't just build something for the class, but I ended up learning from it and building something that I can call a life skill because it was my purpose, and my purpose was driven by the idea of life design. And overall, I want to say thank you for your attention and support. Have a good night.